Jasmine with GirlChat 806. I have some guests with me. Dorothy can't be here tonight because she had to go take care of family business, as we do sometimes. Anyways, introduce yourself. Really, tell them what your name is, what you do for a living.
My name is Quanie, aka Quanie Anderson. I have a clothing line called Smooth Moving 98. Anything you do in life, make sure you're moving smooth. So it's like the way you carry yourself on a daily basis, or whatever you got going on in life. It's a reminder to keep those movements smooth, simple, but also effective at the same time, mentally and physically.
Yes, sir.
Also a photographer and a barber, mobile barber as well.
Oh, did you line your own stuff up?
Yeah, some
site.
site.
I see you.
Totally working
Some
man.
site.
So we're multitasking on the businesses over here, but it sounds like, yeah. And we've seen you before, but introduce yourself again, please.
All right, Rickie J, Mr. Feed the Folks. On this episode, the cap I'm wearing is the certified tax preparer, or just the tax preparer.
Yeah.
We over me.
We over me. That's like a math problem.
No, it's simple.
But it's a simple math problem.
It is.
Yeah.
Basic math.
Yeah. So anyways, we decided we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, how we got there, where we're going, just navigating it, support, because it's hard to find support. And yeah, we'll start with you.
Mr. Smooth.
Because we've already kind of spoke to him before. So anyways, you said that you're a barber, you're a photographer, and you have a clothing brand. Which one's your strongest suit right now? Which one are you really honed in and focused on?
The brand, Smooth Movement. What?
Yeah. How long have you had your brand?
Brand for maybe 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years now. Got a mentorship I learned from as well, teaching me how to learn e-commerce and everything, selling products online, but not just any kind of products that you can buy from like Walmart and everything like that, but put your own brand behind it as well. So
yeah.
I hate that Dorothy isn't here.
That girl Dorothy.
Because Dorothy just started her own like brand company, and she'll have to tell you, I don't know all the details, but she is selling gym wear.
Ooh wee.
And I'm sure you could really be her mentor in that aspect.
Showing how she can find her manufacturers and everything, so they can put her logo on the custom merch and everything like that. And then just really show it how to scale and really just market.
Talking to $1 billion idea. That's $1 billion man.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Sweet. So I guess with you, so I think one thing about us is just being an entrepreneur in general is we want to do a lot of things because we have a lot of ideas. However, the research I've been doing, the books I've been reading, and the podcasts I have been listening to have kind of said you can't be great at everything.
Right.
You have to really focus in on that one thing.
Make the main thing the main thing.
Yeah. And so how do you feel about that? Like working your 9 to 5, owning a business, doing this, whatever else you do on the side, like, or speaking on the side, like how do you find out what's your main purpose? Which one is your main focus?
So I would say the first thing is understanding, number one, what you want to do, right? You got to know what you want to do and then who's your target audience. So everything that I do, I understand that I'm working towards one main thing. It's all about impact. That's what the brand is, we over me. So as far as like working a 9 to 5, it's simple for me to go to work because that is funding. That's the first business partner. We always talk about that. Your 9 to 5 is your first business partner because until you start generating income, you got to generate income somewhere else. So the 9 to 5 is just the first business partner, and then doing the speaking, I'm teaching financial literacy, and then taxes is another source of financial literacy, but it's also an opportunity to make a good amount of money in a short period of time. So it's all combination of one thing, and that's what I would say is being an entrepreneur, focus on the ultimate goal, and then use your day to like utilize all that time to invest into your business and make the main thing because a lot of people get overwhelmed because they're trying to do too much and they don't know like the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I know my ultimate goal was number one, impact, teaching financial literacy. So doing taxes, I get to utilize teaching financial literacy because I'm teaching people how to fill out a W-4, fill out their W-9, utilize write-offs and different things like that. So all in the combination, I'm still teaching financial literacy. I'm just using a different vehicle to do it. So I would say just understand what you want to do, why you want to do it, and then who's your target audience.
Yeah, so your paths are aligning.
Mm-hmm.
So it does all make sense.
Make them create.
Yeah, so you have your 9 to 5, but you're your speaking and your taxes go hand in hand.
Yep.
The good thing about it is you only do taxes a certain part of the year,
100%.
so you're able to grind out and focus really on speaking.
Yep.
Okay, yes, sir. And how is that working for you?
For mine, I would say, so what I would do, I focus on one thing, but from that one thing is keeping a smooth movement. So I do photography, got the brand, also cut hair. So what I do is focus on one thing, and I figure out how I can create multiple branches from that one thing. So anything I'm doing is always going to relate back into what the main focus is, is keeping a smooth movement. You feel me? So
yeah. So do you feel like you have less time to cut hair and more time to do your photography and your smooth movement?
Hey, whoever need the services need the
you're
services.
You're just here for it all right now. You got it all. You have time.
I don't know. You just gotta move strategic with it. It's like, okay, if you got this opportunity, okay, let's get this, do this, and get this out the way, and then let's focus on the next project. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I find myself, for me, I'm in two different zones. Mine aren't really honing in together, and that's kind of where I guess I could say I'm struggling, because I can be a very good choreographer and I can be a very good professional organizer. However, I have to make time for the both, and it's two separate business, separate entity. What's the word?
Entities.
Yeah. Thank you. I talk too fast sometimes. And I find myself saying, do I focus here or here? Because like dance takes a lot of choreography and a lot of time in the studio, and organizing is just comes natural for me. So I find myself getting where I'm thinking, am I going to have to choose one or the other? Because they don't go together.
I would say, to answer that, it's honestly, essentially, it's the same thing, because you're organizing. It's systems. And the biggest thing about it, you can do a lot of things, but you have to have systems in place. So if you have days where you're organizing, that's all you do, I'm organizing.
Yeah.
Then I have days in the studio, because a lot of time the misconception with consistency is I have to do it every day. Consistency is doing what you said you were going to do when you said you were going to do it. So if you have 3 days out of the week, you organizing, that's all you do? Yeah. Cool. All right. And then the other 4 days out of the week, I'm doing dancing. You dedicate that time, because honestly, it's just feeling overwhelmed. Like, I could be doing this, I could be doing this. Hey, these are the times I'm doing this, and after that, I'm not doing it no more. You got to have systems, and you got to be disciplined so you don't get to that point. But essentially, it's the same thing. You organizing dances, you get systems, you get routine. It's the same thing. So that's what your gift is.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, is like there has to be a way for me to make this happen. I guess my thing is, it's also working a 9 to 5 or that steady income until we get where we need to go. It's just like trying to navigate that and make that all happen is just it's not always easy. And then I do have a daughter too, so I have to be mommy mode. So it's just like, I want to make all these things happen, but is it like I need to chill the hell out and pick one, or is it that I can do all 5 of them and be great at all of them?
So you really gotta. So the part that we gotta do, and we want to have control, and we gotta give control to God. Like, that's where it comes to, when should I leave my job? When should I? Nobody can really just tell you like when. Is you like, you gotta know like, okay, I'm making this, and then it's also, we always try to walk by sight. We need to walk by faith.
Yeah.
Once you take that leap, you don't know what's on the other side of it, and that's what the faith comes in, because it's like, okay, I'm leaving this. Like in April, I'm leaving my job, and I'm like, whatever come with it, come with it. I'm accepting that, but I know at this point, I'm putting a date on it. I got a 90-day plan. When I leave after that, I'm ready. I'm going.
Give me some.
Full
Okay, so it's funny that you say that, because the reason why I ended up starting my business, I am always in control. I'm always number one, large and in charge. Any room I'm in, I just end up being the boss and deciding the moves for everybody. That's just my personality. I legit walked out on faith, knowing that it was just me or nothing at all. Right. I just had me. And so what you're saying is, I want to attest to that, and I agree. Absolutely. You have to believe. You have to believe in yourself, but you have to let God do His job. And you have to trust. You have to just trust. I legit had to trust and believe in Him. And for once, I had to pray and say, God, the first time in my whole entire life that I can recall, I am actually letting You call all the shots.
100%.
And that's what He's doing now. But then, you get those little devils on your back that are like, you have to be sure you have steady income coming in.
Right.
You can't just all of a sudden try to run 2 businesses and you don't know what money's coming in. You have to stay over here and stay safe. But it's like, if I stay safe over here working the 9 to 5, how am I going to really be able to hone in and focus and really just grind out and really get creative? I learned that I'm creative when I'm not working at 9 to 5. When I'm not working for anybody else.
It's honestly, it's just because like a lot of people get so caught up in comfortable. Like we want to be content. A lot of people have dreams, have ambitions and stuff, but
they're scared.
They scared because it's like
nervous.
What if I can't live this lifestyle that I project on social media, taking the trips and all this stuff? It's like, well, you got to understand, there's gonna be discipline and stuff
I don't even
like
care about that.
But it's a lot of people who do.
Yeah.
They're like,
what is
exactly keeping up with society. Oh, I can't buy the newest iPhone. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. All of those things. But in reality, it's like that's why I think everything that happened in my life, speaking from my own testimony, is like purpose. Because it's like you don't know what's on the other side, but you got to be a different type of breed to accept like this is my journey and this is what's coming with it. Because we always try to get from start to finish. Mm-hmm. The most important part is the process. Because again, like who you become, like who you become in the process is the most important. And that's what I think like a lot of people fail to realize is you're gonna take a risk, but either you're gonna take a risk on yourself or you're gonna take a risk on somebody. Why would you spend 9 to 5 building somebody else's dream?
Exactly.
Nah,
take that risk.
Yeah.
Take that
so
risk.
I guess I've learned from talking to you earlier, and hearing from you just in the little bit of time that we've been talking, is y'all have mentors.
For sure.
So
I still have a coach.
I do struggle with finding a mentor. I have since day one, and maybe I'm not looking at other places, or maybe I haven't looked at all. I don't know, but I find myself feeling like all I have is me. All I have is me. There's nobody else I can go to and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I really want to do this. I need some help over here. I have these 2 ideas. Which one makes more sense? Which one do you? I just don't have that. How'd you find your mentor?
My mentor, I was on Instagram Live. This is when it first came out, Instagram Live. My mentor was on live. I knew what I wanted to do at the time. I just didn't know how to go about it. But paying attention, that's what live. Instead of saying, "Oh, he's a scam," everybody, no. I'm the one who's okay. I see the value of his information. Let me apply it. Let me invest into it. You feel me? And that right there is like, okay, he was talking about, I teach people how to start a e-commerce business. Okay, so bringing it back, I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to go about it until my mentor was talking his spiel about it. And so it was like, okay, I can create my own brand selling the same products that I'm already buying from Walmart, Dollar General, whatever it is. I can put my own name brand behind that. After that, I would say find a mentor, really focus on how much value can they bring? Are they showing results? Are they proving what they're telling people? You know what I mean? Oh yeah. I would say as long as you can find that, then you're gonna be good. If someone
so what did you do? Did you say, hey, I need you to be my mentor?
Well, I just applied into what he was teaching. So at the time, his program was $20. I cut hair for $20. Okay. So I'm like, okay. His program was how to start a business step by step. He's showing you A to all the way to point Z and more. So showing you how to start your online business, showing you how to set it up and everything, and after showing you how to grow it, showing you how to scale it, showing you, hey, this is where we find our manufacturer, showing you everything. All you gotta be a student of the game.
You just have to be a student.
Follow the navigation. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. I like it. How'd you find yours?
So mine was right out of high school. I was working in sales, and it's obviously sales is it's all about development because you're commission based. So my mentor success and financial stability came from developing people. So we already had it. It's like, okay, we went through a 2-day training. Then we had coaching calls. Like, okay, I'm going into appointments. I was selling knives. So it's like, I'm going into appointments. I'm calling her before. I'm calling her in the middle. I'm calling her in the after. So it was like a volunteer mentorship. And then that's what opened me up to. And I was like, okay, now we sitting down. We used to call it PCs, personal coaching. Once a week we sit down. Let's put in your schedule, non-negotiables. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to build your schedule around that. Like you got to pick up your daughter. You got to go to your other business. Well, now let's build a schedule around it. What availability do you have? And we're going to work with that, right? Okay. So just that, and that was my first introduction into conferences. I started the job right out of high school. 2 weeks later, like, hey, we're going to a conference. I was like, man, I've never been out of Texas. I love traveling, so let's try it. Went to a conference, got all the knowledge and stuff, and then I just got like super addicted to it. And then they were just pouring into us, and that's how it was really just like a job turned into like coaching. And ever since then, it was like, now if you want to be a better person, instead of trying to do it by yourself, that's an older mentality.
You cannot do it alone.
You need a team.
You cannot do it alone.
You need a team and system. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah, I have always known that. You can't do it alone.
For sure.
I mean, that's just not even a thing. And if you think it's a thing, then you're not. It's not going to work out for you. Yeah, it's not going to work out for you. So I guess the next question would be, what do you think about the support that you have had? And when I mean support, who have been your biggest supporters? Whether they're posting your stuff, whether they're actually paying you for the service, they're modeling for you, or anything like. How have y'all found y'all supporters? And do y'all feel like y'all have the supporters that you need? Do you feel like you could have more? Are you a little disappointed with the ones that you thought you would have versus the one you have? Yeah.
I feel like it's all growing process. Everybody who needs to be in the process, in the meantime, is gonna be there. So, but I feel like it's just it's not race. It's just like I don't know. You're gonna find the people over time.
Yeah,
in
but
your business,
I guess the thing is like personal wise, like does your mama support you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Does like your auntie buy your clothing?
Oh yeah.
Does like, so you have the
people.
Support
I mean, I got support for sure, but it's like I'm not really focused on who buys or nothing like that. But it's like if you got the time to, you know what I mean, go ahead and do that. But it's no force.
So you don't ever feel like, gosh, nobody is just sharing my stuff. Nobody cares.
We ain't. Nah.
What about you?
For me, honestly,
because you do taxes a little bit different.
Yeah, so I would say on both sides of it. I started out the game. I think presentation itself is so important. It's not what you know, it's who you know. For me, I've always had support. There's a lot of people say, oh, nobody supported me in the beginning. When I started my sales business, I started with people I know. Teachers, coaches, friends, parents, different things like that. Support. Every business I ever start with is always the people I know. Of course, you're going to have people like some family members support, some people don't. But for me, I can only speak. I have support. Anything I'm trying to do, I always go to the people that I know, but always outsourcing, right? I've met people at conferences who like call me more often and help me accountable than people that different people I grew up with, right? And I think that's just like you were saying, it's a part of the process. It's growing pains because everybody can't go.
I do agree with that. Me and Dorothy had a podcast not too long ago, and she just really felt like nobody was supporting her. And I kind of felt like you got to get out there. Screw your family. Screw your friends. There are going to be people out there that adore you way more than the closest ones to you adore you. So I just wanted to see if y'all felt the same way or if y'all felt different. And obviously y'all feel totally different. And I love to hear that because everybody isn't the same.
You can't have emotions into it.
Yeah.
If you got emotions into it, guess what? Everything's gonna be good. But guess what? It's gonna go down when you feel like you put your feelings into it. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah. That's like going and working your 9 to 5 and you start getting emotional about it. You got to
control that.
That's just not gonna work out. You're gonna get rid of that before you know it. And spill out something. Okay.
But to piggyback off that, I will say this, because essentially you got to understand what you're asking people is to believe in you more than they believe in themselves. Like some people would never put themselves out there to post a video, post some content and stuff. So like you grew up around, they know you for, oh, you've always done this. So whenever you put yourself out there, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I would never do that. But that's a small-minded individual. So of course it's gonna be people like that, but you gotta understand the type of people you're dealing with, like, oh, they would never do it. So for me specifically, talking about speaking, 85% of people would rather die than give a speech. It's a fact. You can search that up, right? So for me to know, number one, I'm talking about positive things, right? I'm talking about financial literacy. I could literally talk about anything negative, viral, right? You're going against the grain. So understanding that is like, everybody not going to support you in the beginning because they don't have it's not even confidence, courage, right? They don't have the courage to put themselves out there because
be vulnerable.
Exactly. So I would say that you got to just know, like, everybody ain't willing to do what you're going to do. So for sure.
Yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. I guess I wouldn't really call her a friend. It's just somebody I know. And I'm just thinking you have to be ignorant. That's all I could think. All my response was you have to be ignorant. But she told somebody that I know, she said, Jasmine just keeps posting all these videos of her organizing and it's just overwhelming and annoying. And she said something in those terms, and I'm thinking, I'm making money.
If you don't like it, don't watch it.
I'm making money. Block me. Delete me.
Easy.
Why are you watching it?
You don't have to be on it.
You don't have to be watching it. You can view my whole entire story, sis.
Take me off.
But then the same person that made that comment is like, oh my gosh, your hair has grown so much. It's so pretty. I'm like, oh, okay. So you're supporting my hair growth, but you ain't supporting my business.
Cause it's the capacity.
Hater.
Crazy town.
It's so that same aspect. It's like you got to understand the level of capacity. Like you could be at a level 1 and the person you're dealing with, they on a level 10, and they will never be on the level that you on because they don't have the capacity. And when you realize that, you just deal with people on the level, because they always say common sense ain't common. That's not a fact. Common sense is the level of common sense isn't common, right? Yeah. Everybody has a different level of common sense because something you do every day is common sense to you, right? Somebody else is like, I've never done it. That's not common sense. It's the level. Everybody got common sense, but it's just in our own area.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, yikes, because I just swear, like, are you stupid? Are you dumb or are you stupid? Like, I don't understand how you just didn't know that was, this girl told me, we're out of pickle vodka, so go ahead and just get regular vodka and add pickle juice to it. Well, duh. I mean, do you think I'm stupid?
The last part seemed dangerous, the vodka part.
But I mean, like, did you just really say something that, like, it's common sense? It was common sense to me.
For sure.
But she talked to me like it wasn't common sense. Like, she was the only one that had ever heard of that before. And I'm just like, sis.
She said, don't y'all put you on to
that level.
She was trying to put
the level of capacity.
She was trying to put me on. What else should we add? What else? What am I missing that y'all could add to this segment?
Talking about team. We were talking about that. So I would say in that aspect, it's super important to find the right people, right? Shout out to my business partner, right?
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to my business. Talking about support.
He just showed up. I said, just tell him to walk in. He walked in.
We was chatting, we was chatting.
No,
there's this little movement in here.
For sure. But like, you got to find, and it's not rare. A lot of people say it's rare. It's not rare to find good people. It's just like you have to be looking in the right spot, right? So you can either find them at conferences. You can find them in your town. You have to find people who believe in the vision just as much as you. Because sometimes you're going to have a business where it's like, look, I can't really pay you right now, but if you stick with me, we can do this. Like, we go here, we can do this.
I have that with the business partner.
Yeah.
I love her and I adore her, and we don't know what we're doing right now. And we know our vision and what we want. We just don't know, and we've been sticking to each other's side. And that's all you could ask for. But I want to say, gosh, whenever you said sometimes I can't pay you right now, like, we're in this together. So if you believe in my vision and I believe in your vision, there has to be a way we can make this work out. And that's apparently what y'all have done.
No, for
just
sure.
know, at the end of the day, however I could help you, help me, help you, let's just make it happen. Because at the end of the day, I need you and you need me in different ways.
Building.
Yeah,
it's that mutual benefit. And then it's like, just know though, once I get to that position,
I
got you. Like, you talking about support?
Vacation, baby.
Hey, no, it's a check for sure. Like, just know I got a check. When I win, you win, we win. We both win. So it's just like,
but it's time. It takes time. And it's not gonna happen overnight. And I think people are so quick to think, like how, social media shows you, like, overnight, it just happened overnight and they become these celebrities or whatever these. No, that doesn't happen.
Yep.
It doesn't happen. And then say if you do get famous overnight or get, what do you call it? What's the word now? The term.
Or what?
The verbiage of like viral overnight. That one video only got viral.
That too. And
that does not mean you are going to be viral.
You might not be ready for it either.
Look, are you going to be able to handle that capacity? Where all that comes from?
Sustain it.
I'd rather go through the process and then over time.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Is I don't want that. I need the process.
It's gonna feel good at the moment, but
yeah, you got to be able to. It's not sustainable, right? Because the thing is, in the process, you learn so much about yourself. You learn what works. Being an entrepreneur, this is the favorite part about it. In the beginning of entrepreneur phases, you get to make those mistakes and like you get to try everything. Because then once you get to that point, it's like now you feel this pressure. I got to do this. But in the beginning, and we could try it. Oh, it didn't work. We know we ain't gonna do that no more. But the creative mind that you get to utilize is like, oh, we're gonna try this.
You can build.
It might not work, but we still gonna try it. And that's the beauty of you gotta fall in love with the process. Because like somebody might be a terrible idea, but
it don't matter.
You learn from it. Like we will never do this again, right?
Or maybe we will. It just is the wrong time right now.
Yeah, wrong time.
That's one thing I love about just when I finally walked out on faith and finally decided to just say, I trust and believe in myself. I can do this. I don't know where it's going to lead me, but I know that I don't give up and I don't fail. Just knowing that, like, I had so much time to be creative.
Yeah.
Golly, we don't get time to be creative working 9 to 5. And then whenever you're done, it's like you're so exhausted, you're so stressed out that you just need to go to bed.
Drain the energy.
Yeah, you don't have the energy.
It's environment.
One thing I realized now that I'm working my little part-time gig, I make a lot of money. But I don't give a fuck about the money. I really want to be successful in my business. And the only way I can be successful is being broke if I have to be broke, and being creative.
Yeah.
I feel like being creative is the only way I'm going to be successful and make money. But when I'm stressed out working a 9 to 5, I'd rather be broke and be creative than be stressed out working my 9 to 5.
Fact.
Yeah.
Since I've been doing business, that's all I've been learning. It's like over time, it's like, okay, every job, you gotta get creative. You gotta get creative. Even photography, get creative.
Yeah,
Understand
so
the
many
visuals.
photographers out there.
Be creative. That's all it is. That's all it is. Being creative.
Be you. Like be
it
you.
is. Be you and do you. One thing that I could say that I felt, I don't know if we were recording earlier or not, but and I feel like he's saying the same thing, is that he's a photographer. There's several photographers. He's a barber. There's several barbers. You're a tax preparer. There's several tax preparers. I'm an organizer. There's plenty of those. Yeah. But the truth is, there's only one us.
Yeah, it's only one you.
There's only one.
Nobody could be a better you than you.
What type of value you gonna bring to the table?
Yeah,
that's what's gonna make a difference.
And it's all about your strive, your personality, just your hard work, and really what you want. Nothing's gonna come easy. It is not gonna come easy. And if it comes easy for you, you're damn lucky. But you know what I've learned? The ones that do get it easy are the ones that don't make it very far.
And they don't. It's a different type of appreciate it. Like when you going through that struggle and you like. Like, no, I gotta make this. Like, failure ain't an option. When you get to that, when you get to that mode, you trying everything. You like this. I'm gonna do this. I don't care, but I just know we done seen the bottom. Now we gotta go to the top. Like it's like, oh no,
you're not going back down there.
Yeah, you've been exposed.
There's no way you're gonna go back to the
bottom. You've been exposed.
And even if you do, you ain't really at the bottom.
Yeah,
because
you don't learn
how to do it.
You
further than you've ever made it before.
Exactly.
You just can't do that doing it for somebody else. I'm not saying don't. Like if you want to be a doctor, you might have to work for a hospital. If you want to be a lawyer, you might have to work for a law firm. But at the same time, it's like, if you could not do that, I would just say don't do it.
No, for sure. I think everybody's journey is a little different.
Yeah, and everybody doesn't have the entrepreneur mentality.
Everybody don't need to be an entrepreneur. No. Everybody don't need to be an entrepreneur. But if you like your job, love your job, whatever you do.
As you should. We're not knocking it.
Yeah, not for sure.
We just know it ain't for us.
Need it. Need it.
Like,
over time, continues working over you. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, like why spend all this time building for somebody else when you can build for yourself? So I'm never not 9 to 5 because some people they will never do this, right?
Yeah.
If you love your job and you enjoy it, like I've always wanted to be this person, I always want to be that. Cool.
Yeah.
Knock that out.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship ain't for everybody because you got to be willing to get rejected. You got to be willing to go without pay. You got to be willing to fail. And a lot of people who are not willing to do that, they are comfortable working a 9 to 5. They cool with guaranteed money.
Yeah, it's easier that way a lot of times.
Yeah, but on the other side of that, entrepreneurship, the freedom and flexibility of time, right? You're making your own schedule. You don't have to ask for vacation. And what we talked about earlier is just like being in a position of choice, right? Entrepreneurship gives you the opportunity to be in a position of choice. If you work a 9 to 5, you get certain times that you can take off and certain times that you can't take off, which is cool if that works. But if you don't travel a lot, hey, shout out to you.
Some jobs, I got to ask to go to the restroom. What the?
Crazy.
Crazy town.
Crazy business. I would never. So,
no, been there, done that. I was going to add to that, but y'all touched really good on that. 9 to 5s. Yeah,
Utilizing.
I don't know. I just feel like, you're right. It's not, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. But for the ones that it's for, and the 9 to 5s, like we're not knocking it. It's just you don't have the mentality, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
The truth is though is that I knew I had the mentality always and forever, but I also was just so afraid because of what our parents teach us. They don't really teach us. We know them to work a 9 to 5 and be in survival mode all the time.
Retirement. Yeah.
Yeah,
get a good job, go retire.
And there's times where honestly, I think we probably work way more than we would work if we worked a 40-hour day. There's a lot of times because we're going to sleep thinking about it, we're wake up thinking about it, we're on the shitter thinking about it, we're eating lunch thinking about it. There's a lot of, but it's just worth it. It's just worth it. Yeah, but it's so but it's so worth it whenever you even make that $50.
Yeah,
it's just worth it, and your rent is $1,500. But you're like, oh, I made $50 in my own business.
Because it's that progress. You get that, like, okay, if I can do this, I can do that. And the thing about it is that vision, what you're talking about. Everybody, it's a gift and it's a curse because everybody can't see it.
Yeah. And
it's not for everybody, but at the same time, you got to be able to have the vision, but you also got to be able to have the patience. It's like, it's not on our time.
Yeah.
Because if we knew exactly when we was gonna be successful, we'd be reckless. Reckless.
Yeah.
Oh, God said I'm gonna be successful in 6 months.
Say
Oh, I don't gotta do nothing else. I'm good. 6 months.
every day.
Every day to these next 6 months, I'm good. So it's like it's a good thing that we don't know it because then you get to develop.
We don't know.
Yeah, you
We
get to
just
become
don't
that
know,
person.
and we
Yeah.
get to just grow and build, and the unknown is
Keep
kind of like a high. It's kind of like a drug.
Nah, for sure that.
It's
For
kind of
sure.
exciting.
For sure.
It's
Keep
so
building.
scary, but it's so exciting at the same
The
time.
bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
It's so scary, but it's so exciting.
You take that leap.
Jumping out in 6 feet.
Man,
First
you
time
One thing I
swimming.
do like about it is though, is like if I know I do want to take a week off or something, I just have to hustle hard and schedule all my clients in those 2 weeks and just go hard, because then I can take 2 weeks
earn it.
Test
off.
your hustle.
You
I
earned
can
it.
That's
take
what.
2 weeks
What?
off, baby. Hello.